Now at 10, a man is hospitalized after a shooting in downtown Joplin. Plus, Oklahoma's governor announces a plan to bring sports betting to the Sooner State. And how high school students in Uniontown, Kansas brought back their school newspaper after more than a decade out of print.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police have a suspect in the case of an afternoon shooting in Joplin. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. It happened on the 1800 block of South Main. Police were called to investigate a report of a shooting with at least one victim, a juvenile male. That was late this afternoon. Police believe the injuries are not life-threatening. Authorities say a suspect, also a juvenile male, was arrested without incident. He's been turned over to juvenile authorities. A crash in Barton County, Missouri this morning has claimed the life of a Nevada woman. Authorities say 67-year-old Diana Shopper was traveling east on Northwest 40th Road when she ran a stop sign and collided with a pickup traveling on Highway 43. Shopper died at the scene. The driver of the pickup was not injured. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, a warmer day for us today, which is always nice. We've been kind of in the deep freeze in late October, early November respect over the past 5 or 6 days, but back to the 60s today, right where we should be. Chilly start of 37. Record high on this date is 82 degrees. Looking outside, Joplin, Pittsburgh, both look good. Pair of 47s, slowly dropping back. Most of us are sitting mid to upper 40s to near 50. Not near as cold tonight. I think most of us will kind of hover right around 40 degrees. Our southerly winds are going to keep us decently mild compared to what we have seen. Yesterday morning, we had a record low of 19. Tonight, only about 41. And those winds are going to pick up a bit over the next couple days. Clear skies right now through the night. 43 by 7, overnight low of 41. Continuing to warm up for the weekend. Those details in just a bit.
See you soon. Oklahoma's governor announces a plan to allow sports betting in his state. Governor Kevin Stitt says the plan announced today would allow Oklahomans to place in-person bets at gaming sites operated by federally recognized tribes, protecting tribal investments in brick and mortar facilities. The plan would also allow Oklahomans to place bets on their mobile devices on a sports book licensed by the state. Those bets would be taxed at 20%, but pursuant to updated tribal gaming compacts, retail wagering can be conducted by federally recognized tribes taxed at 15%. Those bets would only be accepted in person. Governor Stitt says, quote, "I promised Oklahomans if we pursued sports betting, we would do it right, and this plan does just that." 35 states, including Kansas and Arkansas, already allow sports gambling. Newton County is giving the city of Neosho $370,000 to settle a dispute over TIF payments. TIF stands for Tax Increment Financing. In 2021, the city of Neosho filed a lawsuit alleging the county withheld the monies owed to the city since 2015. That money was supposed to go to public improvement projects. In April of this year, a judge ruled in favor of the city, saying the county needed to restart payments. A hearing was set for this month to determine how much money must be paid, but the two parties agreed to settle instead. However, the settlement price of $370,000 is significantly less than the alleged amount due of $917,000. Uniontown High School's newspaper returns after a 10-plus year hiatus. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke to the young journalists about getting the news hot off the press.
My previous industry experience was in the printing industry, and I feel like it's a skill that everyone can apply to other areas. Like every company in the world needs somebody that can create some photos and social media posts for them. So I feel like they're learning things that they can apply to absolutely any business they go into.
After 14 years, Uniontown High School now has a student-run newspaper, teaching them the foundations of journalism.
We brainstorm the ideas and then we go out and email the teachers and people to interview and get the information from them to then put them into our own articles. It is not the easiest, but it's honestly not the hardest at all. I really do is go out, interview people, and then afterwards I help with the class and their work.
The original newspaper died out in 2008 due to lack of interest from students. Now, that's not the case.
They definitely could have brought it back before now, but it's cool that to be a part of something that's coming back.
The newest issue of the Talon released right before Halloween. Students say they took inspiration from the old issues and realized newspapers are like time capsules.
Well, it's kind of cool when I brought it back to my house. My uncle was there and he was in the newspaper back when they were doing it, so he was like, oh, yeah, that's cool.
From here, I graduated from here. I was on the yearbook staff here and at Pitt State.
Reporting in Uniontown, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
The next issue of the Talon is set to release before Christmas break. A Joplin organization is making sure babies in the NICU don't miss out on the value of stories. Seroptimists International of Joplin donated $500 worth of books to the Ronald McDonald House. Those books will then go to the NICU at Freeman Hospital. Parents and volunteers will be able to read to the babies there, which experts say can help build language skills.
Reading to your child helps their cognitive development exponentially, and it also helps with the bond between the parent and the baby. They know your voice, it provides a lot of comfort, and it also starts teaching them about reading and stories, and just really helps with their development.
Seroptimists International also donated $500 to St. Mary's Elementary School for playground equipment, $2,500 to the Creative Learning Alliance's Capital Campaign, and $2,500 to the Boys and Girls Club's Smart Girls program. Today is the celebration of the Day of the Dead. Locally, some Hispanics and Latinos found ways to celebrate their heritage, even being far from their home country. A Carthage woman, for example, put up an altar in her living room. Pictures of her loved ones who passed away, their favorite drinks and foods, and flowers featured the ofrenda. The Day of the Dead is also a way of keeping the memories of loved ones alive.
We grieve throughout the year, but this is a happy day. It's not a sadness. We honor, we remember all the good memories that are left behind.
But
what makes the bread special in itself, it's all the tradition, all the celebration. It is part of the celebration of the Day of the Dead in Mexico.
That bread Giovanni Salas is referring to is Pan de Muerto, the bread of the dead. The round orange-based bread is said to bring back sweet memories of loved ones. Pitt State this evening celebrated the Day of the Dead with a showing of the Disney movie Coco. It was hosted by the student organization PSU Hispanics of Today. The showing was open to students as well as the entire community. Coming up, the House passes a bill to provide aid to Israel, but will it pass the Senate? Plus, the National Retail Federation puts out its prediction for sales this holiday season. The House today approved a nearly $14.5 billion military aid package for Israel, but without humanitarian assistance for Gaza. President Biden has said he would veto the bill. Might be a moot point because it's also not expected to pass the Senate. All signs are pointing toward a profitable 2023 holiday season for retailers. Today, the National Retail Federation released its annual holiday spending forecast for the period that runs from November 1st through New Year's Eve. The Federation predicts holiday spending will hit record levels during November and December, 3 to 4% higher than 2022. Economists say this year's anticipated holiday sales growth marks a return to pre-pandemic levels.
This is going to be a decent holiday season, that the consumer continues to be driving this economy, and that household finances are really in relatively good shape.
The NRF says online spending will continue to outpace in-person shopping, and the gift cards and experiences will be more popular than gifts people unwrap. Additionally, retailers are expected to hire up to 450,000 seasonal workers. That's about 60,000 more people than they brought seasonally in 2022. A little bit later, how the JROTC in Neosho is celebrating with its students.
Plus, our temperatures continue to warm back up over the next few days. Those details coming up. Well, it turned out to be a pretty good day in comparison to what we've seen all week long. Of course, it's been very cold. Temperatures highs only in the 40s from the weekend all the way through yesterday, and then finally today we got up into the lower 60s, which is nice. Look outside, nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We have those clear skies. Looks pretty good as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Not as cold. It's down to 39 Stockton, but most of us will stay near 40. It's 50 in Neosho, Carthage 45. We have Miami 47, Chitopo at 46 degrees. Grand Lake sitting at 48. Looking outside, here's 7th. Here's Rangeline 47. We're looking at downtown Joplin and visibility at 10 miles. Southerly winds at about 10. That's going to keep our temps up just a little bit. Southerly winds kind of cruising through. These will be 5 to 15 tonight, but these are going to increase again late tonight into the morning hours. So expect another breezy day tomorrow with winds gusting anywhere from 25 upwards to 35 at times. So we're going to call it a windy day, but not like super windy day, but it's definitely going to be windy out there as we go into Friday afternoon. Clear skies, not a whole bunch is going on here. The entire Central Plains, we look pretty good. Let's go west. Here's a storm system that will mainly slide across the northern plains as we go into the weekend. It's not going to do a whole bunch for us, but it could give us a few random showers late Saturday into Saturday night. Let me take you through the next couple days. We're going to stop at 6:30 in the morning tomorrow. Low to mid 40s, southerly winds increase, plenty of sunshine. By the noon hour, we'll be upper 50s to near 60. Let's cruise through the afternoon. We'll stop 4:30. Most of us 68, 69, even a few 70s popping up. So a nice day. Clouds increase tomorrow night, so partly cloudy skies. And then on Saturday, we're going to have a lot of clouds, partly to mostly cloudy skies, but you're also going to see the sun. But temperatures, look at this, high temps right around 70 degrees. Now, Saturday night, you can see a couple little showers trying to pop up. Hit and miss, very light, but we can't rule out a few showers out there by the time we get into Saturday night. All right, day planner for you on your Friday, 43 in the morning, 60 by noon, 67 by 4. High temp is 68. As we get into the evening hours for high school football, it looks pretty good. Also the weekend looking pretty good. 70 on Saturday, 74 on Sunday. Again, maybe a few random showers Saturday night, but we could use the rain again. So we have this weak system Saturday. And then as we get into early next week, I mean, we're starting in the 70s. It's going to be nice. We have a couple weak systems that slide by. Here's Monday. And then a little better chance for a few showers Tuesday into Wednesday. But the bottom line here is no big storm systems over the next several days. 68 tomorrow, 70 on Saturday, 74 on Sunday. Don't forget the clocks. They roll back an hour Saturday night. 77s Monday and Tuesday with a few showers, cooling down a bit late next week.
So we do get an extra hour of sleep this weekend. I don't like the trade-off. I don't like an early sunset.
No.
What are you going to do?
You can't do anything.
You can't really. So, thanks, Doug. The Air Force JROTC program in Neosho, Missouri brings together nearly 150 students. Tonight, they celebrated the fall season at the roller rink. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
A packed house at the roller skating rink in Neosho as JROTC students take over.
I like turtles!
And what's roller skates without a few tumbles? And what's JROTC without a few crazy kids? Despite the goofs and gags, the lessons these kids learn and the roles they learn to play in society is stressed by Chief Jeremiah Brewer.
It's like when you go out on your own, how do you deal with people? How do you it's a cadet run course, and so they have to work with each other and learn how to, when they go to a job, how do you deal with another employee that maybe you don't get along with? So they get to learn that now, where most students don't get that.
And after lessons taught by Chief Brewer, it's always good to blow off some steam, even if that means a little chaos ensues.
Join ROTC. And most of these kids, like you see it, it's like a family. But, you know, when they come into the class, almost none of them know each other. And then they do so many events, and all our events are like community service events.
And for these kids, the relationships they build will help them develop even further.
Like, I don't normally get to go out and do fun things, and it just makes me happy to be here with all my friends.
They're good friends, and they always like have each other's back.
Well, one thing's for sure, these kids are having a ton of fun, and there's plenty of tumbles happening. It's just a good thing I'm not on skates. Reporting in the O Show, I'm Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The Air Force JROTC does volunteer work throughout the community, and they're also accepting donations. Still ahead, highlights from Quapaw football's senior night game against Hulbert, and Pitt State football previews its matchup with Missouri Western on Saturday. John Dales has those stories and a lot more. It's up next.
Pitt State football goes on the road for the final time in the regular season this Saturday. The second-ranked Gorillas go to St. Joseph to play the 23rd-ranked Griffins of Missouri Western, and PSU knows it'll be in for a dogfight.
They're going to give us their best shot. They do some of the things they like to do is just scheme up things and kind of disguise things to make it look like they're doing one thing and they come out and do another. They're going to come up with something new, I'm sure, like they've done every other game this past year. But I think our offense will be ready for that, and it's kind of like a chess match, just going back and forth and answering for what they have.
They're a really good football team. They're playing at a high level this year, playing at a different speed than even what they were last year when they were beating us at halftime. So we have to play 4 full quarters of really good football to have the opportunity to come out at the end.
The Gorillas could clinch a second consecutive MIAA championship if they win on Saturday. We'll bring you the post-game reaction regardless of the outcome, as well as the highlights from the game on Saturday evening right here on KOAM. And it's the final week of the regular season for high school football in the state of Oklahoma. Quapaw at home this evening trying to bounce back from a 1-point loss at Wyandotte last Friday. Quapaw at home for senior night. Players and parents honored before the game. Wildcats taking on the Riders of Hulbert. First drive of the game, Austin Lake zips this one out to Zane Stand, and number 1 in green does the rest. He uses his speed to go untouched into the end zone, 6-0 Quapaw, just like that. Next Wildcat possession, Kyle Forbes on the move. He's able to keep his feet in bounds, tightrope the sideline, and get inside the pylon for a touchdown. 14-0 Quapaw at that point. Hulbert didn't have a ton of luck on offense, and one of the reasons why is Zane Stand. Big hit here on Jose Deckard, who fumbles. Colton Neal recovers. Wildcats with the football again, and on 4th and long, Austin Lake rolling out on the run, trying to find somebody. Guess who? Stand in the end zone. Makes the catch. This guy really can do it all. Touchdown Wildcats. They're up 22-0. Later in the game, Wildcats leading 29-0. Ethan Ellis throws over the middle. He's picked off by Colton Neal. That interception is another turnover caused by the Wildcat defense, and it sets things up for their offense once again. Will Miller takes the inside handoff, bounces towards the sideline. He's able to stay in bounds, reach across the goal line, and score. Personal foul on Hulbert after the play. Quapaw cruises the rest of the way in this one. Wildcats beat Hulbert 51-8. Important night for 2 of our local soccer teams as well. College Heights and Webb City each have a district playoff match this evening. The Cardinals are playing for the right to earn a spot in the championship. The Cougars are already there. Starting first with College Heights, the Cougars win the Class 1 District 7 championship over Lone Jack this evening, 5-1. Next up, College Heights will face Maryville a week from Saturday in the quarterfinals of the Class 1 state tournament. Still some other district tournaments to sort out, but the Cougars will be one of the last 8 teams standing. Meanwhile, Webb City in the semifinal this evening at Branson, and the Cardinals take care of business as well. They beat Willard 2-0 to advance to the championship match, which will be held against Central on Monday evening at Branson High School, and that is at 6 o'clock. That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
The Joplin Public Library partnered with the Quapaw Nation to honor Native American Heritage Month. The post-art section of the library now features an exhibit with native art and cultural items from regional artists and collections.
We have a lot going on in the Quapaw Nation, and we just want people to know that we're still here. You know, I go up and down East Arkansas talking to schools, universities about the Quapaws because that's our homeland. And I was shocked on how many people thought that we expired, that we don't exist anymore. So we're out there saying we're here to stay, and we're happy to share our story with you.
That exhibit's going to be open through November. You might want to check it out. Also, the library is the site of the launch of Ogapah Coffee's winter seasonal blend, Beaver Springs. The weather looking better ahead, Doug.
Yeah, it actually looks pretty good. Temperatures are going to be approaching 70 for us tomorrow. It is going to be windy, 70 though on Saturday, 74 on Sunday. So we actually get a really nice fall-like weekend, unlike what we had with the cold and the rain last weekend. Some rain chances next week.
That wind is going to be blowing a lot of leaves off of trees. That's my prediction. Final sports notes.
Exciting night of high school football playoffs. Tomorrow night, our game of the week is Humboldt playing Riverton in the regional playoffs. Every game matters a ton, and if you lose, season's over.
Yeah, this is when it really counts. Thanks for joining us. Morning Show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.